So sorry about that. I think I figured out my problem. It had to do with the long um, the long flag name for the number of passwords. You recall I just fixed that in another setting. So what was happening was that I was trying to. I saw that I was getting this error, and so it's a teaching moment here. I saw that it was trying to run the program with dash S1 with the words, just the input words.txt. So when I ran that, I saw that it was failing here on line 95, that there is no num passwords. So it needs to be just called num. So I can change that, and I believe it should fix our program. I guess if I'd copied the text from the book, it would have worked. So that seems to work now. Let's run make test again. I'll just run that PyTest version like this, and it seems to be passing all of these versions. Let's see, we're getting a problem with failing on the leet function. Passwords. My goodness. One of the dangers of Python there. So let's go back and look at what I had done there. I had typed password, and what happened is if args leet, Python created a new variable here called password that is the result of mapping all the passwords through the leet function, but then it went on to print the passwords. So I had meant to shadow this variable to override it. So if I fix that, let's test our passwords again, see how we're doing. And now we're passing all of our all of the ways, all of the tests. So I just wanted to point out here that this is the way I first wrote the program when I was writing it. And then after creating the password, I then immediately changed it if it was a leet. And that altered the global state of the random module. So I was getting a different selection of passwords. So it's really important to first create all the passwords and then to change them with the leet function. If that's necessary, then we print them out. And a couple different ways of leetifying them here. Here I use a list comprehension. I prefer the map version. And I believe that's pretty much the whole program. I'm not sure if there's anything else to show. Talked about cleaning the text, and I think you understand probably the regular expression that's at play there. Nothing that we haven't seen before. Here we have the ransom function. I think that's been explained pretty well. And the leet, how we process the files here. I have a schematic here that might help you to see how the data is flowing through this bit here, forward and filter, all that. The line gets lowercase, it gets split. Each one of those goes through the clean. Each one of those cleaned words goes through the filter, and then only everything that gets that passes all of the through all of that and is the proper length because goes into Word. And I show here an alternate way to use if you don't want to use the map and filter, then you can do all this without doing it like that. And so sampling, we understand how to sort the words. We talked about in the intro how important it is to that the words be in the same order, so that when we're both making the samples, that we're sampling from the same set of words. Talked about here how this is how I wrote it first, where I was first creating the password and then printing the leeted version, and then that leads to some errors in the logic because of the global mutable state of the random module. So there's a few other ideas here, one of which is that the leet function, it really makes for pretty unrememberable words. So I suggest that maybe you would only want to change, like, say 10% of a word, or maybe even less. Maybe just you randomly want to mutate 1 or 2 characters. Or maybe you just want to add a piece of punctuation. That might be enough. And then some other ideas for how to maybe combine some other ideas from programs that you've done. I definitely recommend that you use the Harvest program on text files that are meaningful to you, so that you can be generating your passwords from words that may resonate more with you, like poetry or song lyrics or something like that. In summary, we looked at a set, and we talked about how it's kind of a cross between the keys of a dictionary and a list. It's a unique list of items. They're really powerful in the way that you can overlap. You can look at intersections and unions. We didn't use it for that. We used it a set just for the uniqueness of the values. We've talked a lot about the random module and how there's this global state, and how the order of operations that you do things can affect downstream operations. So something that's really important to understand in a language like Python. And I hope that you also maybe saw how you can organize your tests. You can either put them inside your program or maybe put them into a separate program. Here I've created the module called unit.py because those are the unit tests for the password, and I was able to import those functions over into the unit to test them. So I hope that was a fun exercise, and we'll see you with the next chapter.